This is James Ludwig with Westar Energy. What are some of the challenges you see with smart grid?
I think one of the biggest challenges with the deployment of smart grid is customer acceptance and customer engagement. At this conference, which is an excellent conference, they've attracted some of the best people in the country for the solutions for the smart grid. We still have to deal with the consumers and their willingness to participate and to engage in the smart grid environment. Many consumers never think about their electric usage because it's such a fundamental part of their life. They take it for granted. And I think that's going to be one of the larger challenges, not the technology, and not the acceptance of the electric utility industry, but the engagement with consumers to get them to participate.
Perfect. And what are some of maybe the opportunities that are available with smart grid? I mean, you're coming from a utility standpoint. What kind of benefits or opportunities do you see?
I think that the technologies being brought to bear, being leveraged in the smart grid environment are potentially transformational. And I don't believe that I'm smart enough to predict all of the benefits that will come, truly. I don't think when the originators of the internet started doing what they accomplished, they had any concept of the benefits and the explosion that occurred in its use. And I think that's potentially true in the smart grid environment, at least on some scale. We're going to see things that we've never imagined. But in terms of the benefits that we can realize that seem to be within our reach, certainly the maximization of our energy resources. And that's so critical now for the protection of the environment, for continuing to allow customers to live the life that they want to live,
right,
and yet have this respect for the environment that we must have. I think there's tremendous potential in the smart grid environment to reduce our environmental footprint, to integrate new sources of generation, and to engage customers in a new way of thinking about how they use energy.
That's perfect. What about the answer? What do you think the underlying answer is, maybe across the board? What's going to drive everything? And maybe some people said education, some people said awareness, and I think you touched on informing the consumer. And
I think you've hit the critical points. I think we have to attract the consumer. That involves an education of the consumer that's not in any way condescending. But the most recent polls even done this year indicate that about 70% of people in the United States really don't know what smart grid means. And they have really no concept of what it is. Maybe they've heard of it. So I think that education and awareness process is going to be critical.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, James.
Okay.